Hi, folks. It's Donna Martin here from the Good Life Approach. Welcome back to the podcast. We are now on episode 14. And as always, the purpose, the intention of this podcast, why it was created, it's to invite you to get curious about yourself, your life, and the world that you live in. It's about that container, pulling that apart, expanding your ideas, allowing the curiosity, the experimentation, the flow of new ideas and imagination to come to and through you. It's about questioning the status quo and really just asking yourself to feel in to what you consider to be a truth for you. So, this week's question I invite you to ask yourself has been the biggest game changer that I have ever asked in my life. It just boom, blew things wide open. And that game changing question is, are you living by default or are you living through intentional design? So, what do I actually mean by that? When I talk about default, when we're talking about habitual behaviors, I want you to think about what you actually do. Boom, as soon as your eyes are open in the morning, what do you do? Do you reach for your phone? Do you go scrolling? Do you check emails? Do you go and spend some time for you? Do you jump in and get a shower? Do you like to brush your teeth first? Do you go and get dressed? Do you a workout? What habitual things do you do in your life? Because not all habitual things serve you, but not all are unhelpful either. Like, we do our days, we run our life, we function in this society through doing things in a habitual behavior. But, and this is what I want you to really think about, when you're operating through default, through the habitual behavior, what happens when a particular habitual behavior is no longer serving you? Think about it. Scan your morning, scan your day, scan your week or your weekend. What things have you been triggered or just done on autopilot that have been triggered from something for you? And you're going, oh, seriously? Why am I doing that again? For me, it used to be I would comfort eat for food. So if I was triggered or irritated by anything, I would go straight for the chocolate biscuits or straight for anything sugar had craving comfort. That was a trigger, and that was okay, a release. Now, I'm not saying I had any form of eating disorder or anything like that, but I'm just saying in terms of triggers. But because if I'm triggered all day, every day, and I'm eating a couple of biscuits all the time for every time I've been triggered, you can see how I know that's not good for my teeth. I'm going to crash and burn, possible risk of diabetes, not helpful for the highs and lows or to stabilize the sugar. So I invite you to get curious for yourself about the default things that are showing up in your life, about the habitual behaviors that are just on that autopilot, that Groundhog Day. Do you maybe go on the same 2 week holiday every year? Do you maybe just have a set budget, a set point to do with your salary, to do with your way of living? And that's it. That's the box. That's the criteria. And every year, consistently, that is what you do. And that is absolutely fine. There's no right or wrong here. There's absolutely zero judgment. It's about remaining neutral. But the purpose of this question is to invite you to get curious about where you currently are. Are you satisfied or dissatisfied? Are you feeling like your life is in flow and alignment with who you believe you're here to be? Or are you at the other side of that and you're kind of questioning things and going, really, is this it? Is this my gettings in life? Is this what I'm here for? And now I believe that we all at some point ask these questions. I have over my lifetime consistently asked these, consistently elevated, consistently moved to another level of greatness, of grandeur for me and my ideas through self-awareness, through asking myself questions like this, exactly this question that I'm inviting you to get answered today. When you think about the things that you're doing on default, how satisfied or dissatisfied are you with the result at the end of the default? How satisfied or dissatisfied are you with the current results that are showing up in your world? In how you view yourself, feel about yourself, express yourself, really important. In how much you love yourself, value yourself, feel worthy, feel content and aligned within in how you're showing up and what you're meant to be doing here. How satisfied or dissatisfied are you? Beginning with you. Think about that in your relationships. Think about it in your business or your career. Think about it in your health. Think about it in your finances and where you are at the moment. And again, when you are inviting in the question, please always remain neutral. Please always come through the lens of love, of empathy. Because if we jump straight on the habitual behavior bandwagon of shit, you're not where you want to be. Why are you not? Look at other people. Why is this way? Why can other people do this? When we're in the blame game, shame instead of the self-love and gratitude for where we are and moving forward, we tend to spiral right in with the heavier thoughts. The most dominant of those thoughts is fed through your subconscious. It's fed through that feeling, that ache, that thing. You know that feeling when you're just going, oh shit, seriously? Oh, seriously? When you're really hard on yourself, when you're being your own worst critic, when you're judging yourself, when you're just bombarding yourself with all this stuff that you would probably never even say to anybody else. Like, what is the default? Spend some time, write this down, explore it. Because self-awareness, in order to change a habit, you have to become aware of it. In order to change your life, you have to become aware of the things that you're currently choosing to do, either by default or intentional design. And then you get to choose again. This is where you step into your greatness, you step into your power through self-awareness. And you're like, oh, okay, well, Donna's saying to me, by exploring where I am at default, and I'm just going to go neutral and I'm going to love myself and I'm not going to shame myself. So, okay, where am I? Okay, so that is great. So instead of judging myself and putting myself down, what can I do to elevate myself, to empower myself, to actually take a positive step, a healthier step forward? You can give yourself a high five and say, Jesus, do you know what? Actually, well done. Look at the amount of stuff and the amount of things that you have co-created in this world. Look at your incredible family. Look at your incredible relationships. Look at what you've done in your business or your career to date. Look at the beautiful home you're in. Look at the life that you've currently built. Look at how you view yourself, how you hold yourself, how you love your body, how you respect yourself, how you've boundaries or standards in place. When you think of the things that are relevant to you, the good things, the stuff that is on default, that is supporting you, empowering you, then you're going, boom, happy days. Okay, because most of the times, think about it, how often do you actually acknowledge yourself and give yourself credit or recognition for all the healthy things, the joyful things, the loving things, the abundant things that you are consistently co-creating or circulating in your life? How often do you do that? Maybe once a year on your birthday? Maybe if you go for a job or a promotion and you get it and then you're like, ah, yay. But how often do we really celebrate ourselves and where we actually are right now in the moment? We're all too quick to judge, to criticize, to think we should be further ahead than where we are. But I believe that in every moment, in this moment that you're in, listening to this now, that you are exactly where you're meant to be right now in this moment. I am exactly where I am meant to be right now in this moment. When you step under that powerful heart-led, knowing, and drop the anxiety, the stress, the shoulda, woulda, coulda, look at the. When you drop all that and just sit in the, okay, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. What am I grateful for? My space and my radar in my energy now. Who am I being right now that I am so, so grateful for? That self-love, that care, that acknowledgement that I'm cheering myself on. Can you see and feel the difference in these questions, in why when we're in default and default in the not so empowering things, how it ends up spiraling and how we stay in that circuit? Because when you identify and when you then understand through your awareness that actually you do have the power to choose a different outcome in every moment. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait the next week or next month or next year. All you have is now. You do not know if you're going to be alive in the next minute, in the next week, in the next year. None of us know that. None of us. Unless you're something pre-planned and death row and somebody has a time for you. And even then, right down to the wire, you don't know. So invite the curiosity of the question, are you living by default or intentional design? And then I want you to actually think about the words intentional design. When you are living intentionally, that means becoming aware of your thoughts, becoming aware of how you feel, becoming aware of how you are being in your habitual behaviors. It means calling into your consciousness this awareness of you now, who you are showing up to be in every moment. Like me with the kids, it's like sometimes you're like, you're in that reacting. And then other times it's like a whoa, just slow that down, Donna, just a breath. Or it's pulling my three boys together and saying, Mommy's human was out and it wasn't the best there. And I'm sorry about that. So let's go again. Can we go again? That's how I deal with the human stressors or frustrations or reactive states as they come in. Because the human does. And it's about becoming more aware, practicing, making that a habitual practice to pause and respond and give a healthier response or a happier response or whatever it is that you need to do to respond in an elevated manner, in a more empowering manner, instead of losing your shit. But if you lose your shit, it's okay. Again, there's no judgment. It just means that you're showing up, you're apologizing, you're moving on, you're humans out, you're acknowledging it. And then what happens? You don't go the blame game shame, none of that again. You go back to neutral, go back to love, go back to having the courage to be you, go back to, okay, where am I at right now? What do I choose again? This is intentional design. It's about every time something shows up, it's about intentionally choosing again. It's not going, oh, this is by default and this is by intentional design. But if I don't get it bang, bang, bang intentionally in the one go, then I've failed and I'm down a pothole and it's just, blah, forget about it. Your life is a journey. You're evolving all the time. You're here to be the greatest, grandest vision of yourself. It's your highest, best self in every moment. That begins in this moment right here by choosing a new response, by choosing intentionally the habits that you want to make your default, the more empowering habits that you desire to become your default. This is a default for me that every morning I have a mantra before I even open my eyes. I'm a very influential leader. I am positively impacting millions of people for their good. This is my mantra. This is my purpose. This is why I believe that I am here. Every morning I have that throughout my day consistently. That is an empowering practice for me. It's just the default now that I go to. So when things show up, when I respond, if I need to apologize and I need to pull back the human and say, right, okay, I go back to that and it's like, okay, let's reset, let's go again. So instead of the judging, my default now is to, oh, neutral, Donna, do you need a bit of love today? Do you need an extra hug? Do you need to take a breath? Do you need to apologize to your kids? Do you need to apologize to yourself? Do you need to go and do meditation? Do you need to listen to music? Do you need to go for a walk, go for a spa? What do you need to do to fill up your cup? Not judge, not shame, but what do you need to do? So I want you to start paying attention to what you're doing on default that does not empower you, and then replace that with a default that does. Start looking at intentional design in your life and start expressing. Write down the things that you intentionally choose. Start making the mantras. Start going easier on yourself. If you need some help with this, reach out. I'm more than happy to have a conversation. You are exactly where you're meant to be. From my heart to yours. Oh my God. If you really understood how incredible you are, oh my God, you wouldn't stop. You would just boom, boom, boom. And that is the power of self-awareness. So thank you for listening. As always, remember, your greatest asset is your ability to be yourself. My name's Donna Martin, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening.